Hey everybody, welcome to the Tuesday evening AquaStax hour with me, Long Steve. I'm going to sit here and chat to myself for a moment, just until somebody joins. Hopefully it won't be too long. My streams have been fairly quiet of late. If you look back on the Live Coding TV page, the early streams I've done, and I've been doing this for almost 4 months now, have got quite a high number of views, and that's probably to do with the fact that they've been available for longer. But when I was streaming initially, um, sort of end of last year, something like that, I noticed that the streams I did would get about 100 or so views live, so people would come and go, and I think it just accumulates the number of people viewing. And at the end of a stream, I'd look, and I'd usually have somewhere between 80 and 100 viewers, which is pretty good, I thought. Recently, it's dropped down a bit. It's gone down to sort of 40 to 50 or so. Another thing I noticed as well is that after a stream had been available as a video for a few days on Live Coding TV, the numbers would go up a bit. So I guess people go back and watch some videos that they might have missed. But that's been getting quiet as well. My video counts haven't, well, the video view counts haven't been going up very much. But I'm going to keep going. I'm not too worried. I'm going to still do the 2 streams a week and just see how the project goes. So last week I had a really interesting glitch. And I thought it was to do with the fact that I was running Linux on my PC for the first time in a while. Usually I have my PC booted into Windows, and obviously I'm streaming on my Mac, and I share the keyboard and mouse using a program called Synergy. Synergy sits sort of in the taskbar, and it basically transmits the keyboard and mouse movements. So I just have to move, I just have to use one keyboard and mouse, and I can move the mouse pointer off of one computer in the middle here, straight onto my other one on the side. And it turns out that I thought that was a problem, but then I thought it wasn't a problem because I tested my real Mac keyboard attached directly to, well, I say attached directly to my Mac. It's a Bluetooth keyboard, but it's native keyboard for the Mac. And the same problem occurred. But then I watched my stream back, and I noticed what I actually did, and I think I must have been a bit flustered. And I didn't really check the events that the real keyboard was actually sending. And of course, using the real keyboard, things happen properly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start where I was the other day and check these events again. Let's bring up Chrome. Oh, I've got to start my gulp task. I'm going to bring up Chrome, and I'm going to stick a little bit of code in to watch the events. Oh, we've got a JS hint warning there. I think I might just quickly fix that. Aligned pos already defined. Got to be careful with the JS hint warnings. There's an old story about broken windows. I think the version I heard was in a magazine article or a newspaper article or something, and it was related to old abandoned buildings that nobody maintains, possibly on old industrial estates or in unused areas of towns. And what happens is, if those buildings aren't maintained and a window is broken, when one window is broken, all the other windows get broken fairly quickly, and eventually the whole place becomes completely broken. But what happens is councils discovered, or local authorities discovered, that if they maintain the windows, so they maintain the outward appearance of the property, even if it's unused or potentially derelict, but you know, so you can have old warehouses, for example, that might have windows that are reachable, but no one's in them. If a window gets smashed, if it's replaced relatively cheaply, then that's it. Other windows don't get broken. And what happens is you can go for a long period of time. Occasionally a window will get broken, either accidentally or on purpose. Vandals will go and smash it. But what happens is, as long as those windows are replaced, then or replaced quite quickly, nothing else really happens. The buildings aren't vandalized and no more windows are smashed. And the analogy with programming and bugs is that if you leave bugs, if you have glitches or unfinished bits of code or things in your program which you're not happy with and you leave them, they multiply, and you kind of get the quality of your code drops over a period of time. Whereas if you maintain those things, if you set yourself a set of goals and a set of quality standards, like using JS hint, and you set out the particular methods for defining your quality. So I've got the fact that I don't want any unused variables or undefined variables hanging around, and things like unused parameters and code style as well, semicolons and the right form of braces and things like that. If you maintain all that, then bugs don't creep in, or at least the whole quality of the code stays up to a higher level. And at the end of the project, it's all much more easy to test and more easy to produce and release, rather than being a whole buggy mess and you have to spend loads of time testing. So it's an interesting. I don't know where I heard that analogy with broken windows, but I call it programming with broken windows. So if you don't program with broken windows, then you have a happier time. Anyway, so my broken window here is currently aligned pos is already defined. So I'm just going to double check. I mean, is that where it's first defined? So yeah, it's defined there, and I'm using it to, where does this magic number come from? Oh, I shall fix that as well. That's another thing I remember the other week. I'll have a look at that later. And I use aligned pos again down here to align these blocks. And so I'm just going to do that. And also a bit of commented out code that I have no idea what it does. It looks like it was setting the full position of the object to this alignment, but at some point after that I decided it only needs X aligning, and then Y alignment is conditional on the block moving down. Is that aligned pos is lower or less than the current block? Yeah, that stops the block jittering upwards in an event that it's moved down past a grid alignment. So I'm just going to delete that. So that's another bit as well. Save that. Okay. Right, just going to double check on the live coding TV that we're actually streaming. My outbound router window says I'm definitely streaming. Just going to make sure. Yeah, we're definitely live. Excellent. Featured as well. I wonder if anyone's going to join. Seems pretty quiet at the moment. Right. So where was I? Yes, so we're going to start up Chrome. I have Chrome already started. Let's load my my game up. Ah, Ben Jones. Hi, good to see you. I literally, before you arrived, just said, I wonder if anyone's going to join tonight. And there you are. Thanks for coming along. So I've spent a bit of time thinking about why my... Oh, and Rengale, good to see you. So the other week, I think it was last Thursday, I streamed. I hit this interesting problem to do with keyboard repeat rates and things. And I discovered what it was, and it turned out that it is Synergy, the tool I use for sharing a mouse and keyboard between my PC and my Mac. And I'm just going to debug it now and try and fix it, or at least get around it. So let's just put in a print statement on the key action. Here we are, right. Let's see, cc.log. Let's see, do I want action pressed? Yeah, so keycode, space, let's do a pressed, question mark, pressed, colon, released. There we go. So inside Chrome, I'm going to need to bring up the debug view. Look at the console. So as I press left and right, you'll notice it says pressed and released continuously. So there's a pressed and then a release straight after it, which is really not what's supposed to happen. And this is a fundamental feature of browsers and programming environments, is that when you press a key, you get a key pressed event, and then when you release a key, you get a key released event, and something's broken it. And the other week I thought it was Synergy, so I tried with my real keyboard. So I've got a real Mac keyboard here, and let's clear this window. Let's restart, actually. So when I do this, it's still doing it. Ah, no, it isn't doing it. That's right. I press and release it. What I did the other week on the stream to test this was I looked at something else, and I didn't actually pay attention to what was going on, so I thought it wasn't a problem, but it is. So when I use a real keyboard, if I hold down the left button, it goes one pressed, lots and lots of presses. So this is the keyboard repeat occurring, keeps pressing, and then I get a single released. And that's what I expect to happen. And that's how I can implement my code to work properly, knowing that that does happen. But there's a bug with Synergy, which means when I'm using my remote keyboard, I can hold down the left key and it goes press release, press release, press release. I've actually submitted a bug to Synergy. Well, there was already a bug in the GitHub issue tracker for Synergy, and I commented on it and put some logs from my Synergy logs on the system. And it's quite an old bug, actually. It's been there for 3 or 4 months, since the middle of last year. Hi, Beauty Bubble, good to see you. So I don't know if it's going to be fixed. I was thinking I might have to have a look at it and fix it myself. Anyway, I'm going to ignore it for now, because I know that I can do some testing with my real keyboard and get about to the point where my code is doing what I want it to do. Happy to be here. Excellent. I'm glad. Right, where was I? I was going to look at. Hi, Marek Zwick. I'm not sure how you pronounce your name. Do apologise if I get it wrong. Marek Zwick. Yeah, that's a cool name. So the other week, before I got sidetracked by this weird issue of key pressed and released events not working properly, what I wanted to do was make sure that my code controls the keyboard repeat rate. So at the moment, this block is cycling left and right at a rate determined by the keyboard and the software. I want to actually control it myself. So I need some timing system going on. So let's just get rid of this CC log that I had in here to start with. Where's it gone? Oh, I got rid of it already. Right, so let's put some timings in place. Let's go and do. So you control with the keyboard, not a mouse. Yes, so it's a keyboard game. Although when I hopefully get around to finishing it properly, I'd like to release it on iOS and Android as well. So I should have to support touchscreen at some point. It's block dropping Tetris-like game. Whether or not it'll be possible to control it with a mouse, I don't know. I could move left and right, I suppose. Maybe drag down or use the mouse wheel. Anyway, at the moment it's keyboard based. So I need some timings. So movement repeat timings. What do I want? Move delay milliseconds. I made a few notes so I can refer to them just off screen here. I didn't actually write the code yet though, so I'm only basically figuring out what I need to do. So I want a delay. So I basically want something like half a second delay on the keyboard. So move delay and drop the block down quickly. Let's ignore that for the minute. Here we are. So let's do something like, let's increment move delay milliseconds. Ooh, thanks very much for the follow, YouTube. Much appreciated. Got hat has given us a rainbow color, and you get some fireworks as well. You can control the hat from the chat window, by the way. Just type !hat, and you can tap into some controls. The bot doesn't do very much actually at the moment. I wrote him myself. There's plenty of plans for lots more things, but I'm only doing this project a couple of times a week, and I'm doing other things in the meantime. But he's useful. At least he says hello. Let's see, what was I going to do? Add in some timings. Move delay. So self.move delay plus equals it's going to be 1000 divided by 60, but my frame rate, I don't want to lock it at 60. I had some ideas actually for hooking the bot into the new Amazon, I think it's, what's it called, Vex, or I can't remember the name of it, but Amazon released an SDK for some natural language parsing recently as part of their Amazon Web Services. I definitely felt I should hook the bot into that so it can be almost conversational. Where was my frame rate determined? Globals? No, not globals. Possibly in config. Flash screens. Maybe it's in main. I think somewhere I'm probably hard coding 60 frames a second. Let's see. Adjust viewport, remove child. Nope, maybe Cocos2d hard code 60 frames a second, I don't know. Splash. What does that do? Menu scene, runs the scene. Okay. Resource, not going to be menu, is it? Welcome, Asa Chatkin. Good to see you. We have a preview program. Grabbing the link now for my own bookmarks. Oh, okay. Preview program for what? I wasn't following along with the conversation. Amazon, right? Yes, of course. No, I guess I'm going to have to assume 60 frames a second. Let's put it into my config. Let's do 60 FPS. aq.config.fps equals 60. I must be somewhere. I'll just do a quick search on that. Oh, somebody else joined. I couldn't see what they were. I disturbed. Good to see you. Luckily, Tim welcomed you before I saw the thing pop up. FPS. Let's do a search for that. So that's me. Show if it's in the project JSON. Yeah, there it is. Frame rate. So how do I get hold of that? Frame rate. Excuse me. Config key frame rate. There it is. Set frame rate. So CC. So there must be something inside Cocos2d-JS that allows me to get that frame rate. Is that all I have to do? Do I just have to do config? Maybe not. That's CC boot. Config key frame rate. That's the profiler. Get delta time. Director. Second between FPS. Oh, that'll do. Seconds between FPS updates. Or not? No, that's a different thing. That's the profiler in the bottom right-hand corner, the bottom left-hand corner of the screen. So I don't want to define FPS here because it's already defined as part of my project.json. But I want to know how to get it out of Cocos2d. Is it FPS? Somewhere else? Total FPS, CC profiler, CC node, show FPS, display stats, config. So where does this config come from? Modules. This is in CC boot. Maybe the config is my own config object that gets passed in. I'm going to confuse myself now and get distracted by something. CC default FPS. Is that the default FPS is 60? Can I use that? Let's have a look. So cc.default FPS. I mean, that's obviously going to be 60, isn't it? It should work. Let's dive into the debugger and have a quick look at it. Break there. So CC default FPS is definitely 60. If I change that in my project JSON, let's drop it down to 30. See if that changes default FPS. Right. Will I have to rebuild it? Let's just reload. Default FPS, no, it's still 60. So it's definitely not that which is changing the thing. FPS interval. No, I looked at that earlier. That's not it. How do I get the frame rate out of Cocos2d-JS? I suppose I could CC direct animation interval, and this is interesting. So is this using default frame rate or something else? No. Let's see. Can I get config out of here? Let's just do. What does that do? Oh, config is not defined there. cc.config maybe. Nope. cc.fp. I'm just trying to figure out whether or not something is inside FPS. Frame. cc.config. There's no cc.config. cc.configuration. What does that do? .fp. No default frame. Nope. Oh well. I'll not worry about that. I'm just going to leave it at 60 for now. Menu game. So 60.0. Find where I can query the FPS from. Right. So every time we move delay, and what we want is to only care about a move left or right when the move delay is greater than a certain amount. I think, let's just check my notes. Yes, let's do this. So if self.moveDelay is greater than or equal to 500, let me do that. And then also we want to set it to 0 in the event that a key is pressed, don't we? So this should now just close that, reload. So we should now get, oh, no, it's, let's try my other keyboard. What's going on there? No. So I'm pressing it once and it's doing the whole shoot across the screen business. So move delay is great. So move delay plus equals that. If it's move delay, then we set dx and dy. So equal to 0. What am I doing here? So I put down some notes and set it equal to 0. Yep. Why is that not figuring this out then? Self.move delay milliseconds. If it's left or right, it sets it to 0, and then it shouldn't actually do anything until it hits 500 again, should it? Right, let's nope. Let's dump it out and see what happens. Okay, so I'm holding it down, and it looks like it's getting reset to 0, but it's still triggering my keys. If you press left or right, let's see, we only set it to 0 once. So how is that not working then? Okay, nothing else going on there. Just looking at my notes. Ooh, I know what it is. I think I know what it is anyway. What I need to do is, if the key is not pressed, see, then I reset it to 0, don't I? Because while it's incrementing, when it goes beyond that, it sets it to 0, but my code needs to go, if it's left, set it to 0, if it's right, set it to 0. That should at least give me every half a second. Then maybe let's do something like 1000. What's that going to do? So that should take 60 frames before it updates. Yeah, so I can't do anything until it goes once, but then it continues to move. It should reset instantly and stop moving left and right. Why is it not doing that? So, I'll tell you what it is. It's setting self.dx. That's not going back to 0 again, is it? Where does self.dx? It's down here, isn't it? Right, okay. So that's what's going on. It's leaving that there, but it's not setting it back to 0 because this bit of code isn't coming in and setting it back to 0. Okay, so what do I want to do? Well, basically, if it's greater than 1000, do the business here, else we want to set it to 0, don't we? Did I put that in my code? No, I didn't. Where does self.dx get set to 0? Anywhere else? There. I wonder if it should be set in there. I could put it there, couldn't I? So, go back to 500. So now, every half a second, we should get a movement. Nope, not getting anything. Because it's setting it back to 0 there, isn't it? Else, there, let's do that. No, that's never going to reach 0. Let's just ignore that and do that. Yeah, that's going to set it back to 0. So maybe I set dx to 0. If self.dx is equal to 1, in there set it to 0. I could set it down the bottom, I suppose, couldn't I? What have I got here in my notes? I've got if it's okay, so I want to set it back to excuse me, I'm just gonna have to cough and mute myself while I do it. There we are. Should have a sip of tea as well. I think I was reasoning about the left and right keys. What I want to do is, if it's left and right is pressed, we said set it to 0, and that should mean that nothing will happen in here until it gets to half a second again. But what I want to do is, if left and right are not pressed, then we want to set it to a high. We want to set it to greater than 500. Actually, let's do less, greater than. So if the key is not pressed outside this move delay 500 test, so if it's not left and not right, then we can set move delay to something greater, or so I set it to 500 because it'll get incremented. Then the next time around it'll be greater than 500. Only when it's not pressed though. See what that. Didn't like that. Syntax error, unexpected token if. Oh yeah. Not right. Okay. So if it's not pressed, actually we want to set that to 500. And we set that, no, we want to set to 0. Do I want to put that above? Looking at my notes again, I can't remember. I wrote down some notes and I can't even understand them because they're mixed in with some other things. Let's see, what do I want to do? I want to make sure that if there's no key pressed, then the movement delay is greater than 500 and it gets incremented. Maybe I want to set it to 0 there. If there's no key pressed, you set it to 0. Yeah, I could do that. Let's try that. I'm just programming by trial and error on a end of a long day as well. Ooh, well, that moved. Let's try my other keyboard. Nope. So self.move delay is 1000 divided by 60. Yeah. If move delay is greater than 500, then we do the move left and right. If there's no movement, what did I do to this? Let's put this under here. Not sure why I'm doing that. I'm just looking at my notes. No. Oh, so that weights 500. It weights to 500. So while there's no key pressed, that's good. It's definitely just setting move delay, and while it's pressing a key. Nope. It sets it to 5. Let's see. It sets it to 0. Let's see. If I set it to 500, what will that do? So nothing at all, really. See, all I want to do is make something basically wait half a second until it does the same thing, or does the thing again. So ignoring the start scenario, where move delay milliseconds is 0, if we've pressed a key, so maybe that should probably be 500 to start with, because we want the key to trigger straight away. Once a key press is triggered, we set it to 0, and then it won't happen again until the key is greater than 500. And if we don't press a key, then we want to set that to 500, because we've effectively released the key then, haven't we? So that next time through, after releasing a key, you want to press it again and it will trigger straight away. So let's see what that does. Okay, so that's still working. I want to increase this though. Let's increase it to actually, let's just put a variable in here. Let's test delay 500. Test delay. Oh, I'm not going to read out your number. I'll call you A. Is pause not applicable? Remember, I am a complete newbie. Pause. Yeah, I could pause. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to pause the processing of any more input for a period of time. I really don't want to pause the whole game. And this update function is being run at 60 frames a second. So every time through, I'm counting the number of milliseconds that it's been since the last time it's been run, and I'm incrementing move delay. So when it gets to 500 milliseconds, which is half a second, then I should be able to process the movement again. Yeah, so I don't want to actually pause anything in particular, because I want to keep refreshing the frame. I'm just trying to delay the keyboard input. So where was I? Test delay, that's right, I was just going to change that to test delay. Test delay, and I want 1 second. So I basically don't want to do any keyboard input unless 1 second is shifted. Let's see. Definitely, if there's no key pressed, we want to set self.dx to 0 as well, don't we? I wonder if that was it, because I'm not sure where self.dx needs to be set to 0 when there's no key pressed. That's certainly it, I think. Does it also need to be set to 0 when the... Oh, I'm not sure. I'm going to test that now. So what I'm doing is I'm holding down the key, and it does pause for 1 second to start with, or at least pauses for half a second, but then it continually... now, hi Vape Armies, or Vape Amies, good to see you. Now I wonder if it's being released and it's to do with my error. There we go. I'm using my real Mac keyboard, and it's cycling left and right. Oh, and Z80 as well, good to see you. My first computer many years ago was a Sinclair Spectrum. I never got too heavily into ZX80 programming or Z80 programming, but I did do a little bit back in the day. Yeah, so that's actually working. That's using my real keyboard, and I'm getting confused by the fact that Synergy is breaking the keyboard repeat. So it's doing it fast because it's hitting this no key pressed scenario. So if I set that to 0, I wonder if that's what I want to do. That might work. Ooh, gotta click on the window. No, setting it to 0 doesn't do anything because it's just continually... Actually, if I just do this with my real keyboard, so that's moving bit by bit. What's it set to? Move delay set to 1,000. Actually, that's doing what I should be doing, isn't it? So what I'm expecting it to do is to move once a second. So I'm holding down the key. Yep. 1 second. Another second. That's doing what it's supposed to be doing. Right. But because my keyboard here doesn't work the same way, then it's not working right. So I can't really use that. But it's kind of close. Where do I set self.dx to be 0? I want to clear. What I want to do actually is probably set this to 0 after every frame. So when I have a key is pressed, dx is set to -1 or +1. We want the frame processing to occur. Hi everybody, Luminous Beam, good to see you. Nice bro as well, coming and going. I must be on the homepage because people are coming and going rather quickly. That's really cool. What I want to do is set dx to this, see if the grid can move sideways. I mean, I don't even know why I set self.dx. Why do I use self.dx? Let's see, we use self.dx all over the place. Yeah, it's kind of weird. I probably didn't actually mean self.dx, did I? I know, we've got dx and dy for delta block movement. Let's assume that it's going to be 0, or need to 0 it after every frame. So we get to the bottom, collision. I mean, I might as well just stick in self.dx equals 0 here. So it's not if any key is pressed. Right. So that's not at, that's increasing my move delay. The number's going up to 900 plus, but it's not actually doing the business when it gets to the high number, is it? Why is that? Self.dx, left and right. Let's try that with the real keyboard. There we go. So with the real keyboard, it's working, and if I drop this number down to 500, it'll give me every half a second. I'm trying to write the code so it's going to work with both the real keyboard and my broken keyboard at the moment. So I'm probably being a bit ambitious. That's half a second. Yeah, that's working. Excellent. I wanted a bit faster than that, something like about 200. Let's just bring it down a bit. Okay, so that now my keyboard repeat rate, or my block movement repeat rate, is not dictated by the keyboard. I'm definitely controlling exactly how long it takes. Although actually now it's another thing that's broken. I'm pressing the left button here and it's not doing it. So I do probably want this to be set to 500, or actually I want to be set to test delay, so that when you let go of a key, instantly move delay is incremented to a number larger than the condition for this test here, so that then I can press the key again quickly, because I want to be able to rapidly press the keys to move it a bit faster if I can. There we go. So that's my normal repeat rate of 200 milliseconds, or 5 times a second. And now I'm rapidly pressing the left and right buttons. I can't really see if I do it like that. That's working. Excellent. And what's happening if I use my keys here? So my keys on my Synergy remote keyboard are kind of working, actually. They're doing what I expect, and I can press them rapidly as well. That's good. Right. I wonder if that's to do with the delay being short enough that it's not cancelled out by the Synergy keyboard. Let's try a 500 millisecond delay there. No, that seems to be working pretty well. That's the move delay is incrementing to the right number. When it gets above it, the movement occurs and it resets to 0. And there's a couple of little jitters every now and again. I bet that's to do with the this bit. So where my Synergy keyboard is constantly doing a key up, key down, key up, key down, sometimes this gets triggered, which is causing a rapid movement of 2 blocks occasionally, but that's too slow anyway. I want it slow. I want it faster than that. I think 200 milliseconds. So 5 blocks a second is reasonable for a keyboard repeat, but you can do it quickly. That's half the fun. You want to be able to just rapidly move the blocks into the right place. Okay, so the down, let's see what's going with the down keys as well. I want to, it's a bit slow, but right, so let's tidy this up a bit now. So I think it's kind of working. So query the, no, I don't want to query the FTP, I want to query the FPS, the frames per second. I'll figure that out another day. So here we want keyboard repeat delay. I'm going to put this in my config. Actually, let's put it down the bottom. Grid width, aq.config.key delay. I'm just going to call it key delay milliseconds. 200. Actually, maybe might just give 100 a go, see what it feels like. It's probably difficult to see on the stream because it's only streaming at 20 frames a second. Actually, that's a bit better. I think 200 milliseconds was a little bit slow. That I'll speed up again in a minute, I think. But 100 milliseconds, it's close enough, right? So, milli delay for keyboard being held down and actions repeating. Right. And we put that in here. I actually want it test delay. Yeah, there we go. Millisecond delay, that's 0, that's 0. And what I'm going to do now is have another one for the rotate, which is the up key, isn't it? I don't know where that's gone, it's hiding somewhere. And I'm looking for the code. So at the moment, rotate rotate just happens like any arbitrary speed. So you definitely want to slow that down as well. So let's, we've got move delay. That, what I want to add in is rotate delay. Delay in seconds. Actually, let's put that to 0. So it's, I think it'll be, although it might start at 0, it'll instantly be jumped up to 500 or whatever, or 200, whatever it is, when no key is pressed. Right. Sorry for not announcing people as they come and go. I'm just focusing on the code. Hopefully Tim is doing a good job of that. Right. So self.rotate delay. Yeah. There's probably a constant in the system somewhere for milliseconds per tick or something like that, or milliseconds per update. I wonder if I just do a quick search. ms per. Nope. I mean, if I search for updates, it's probably going to get a bunch of those, aren't I? Nothing with numbers in anywhere. You think the animation code would probably have some reference to this constant somewhere. Update, I mean, frame would be another good one. Oh, I was going to get loads of frame. This frame interval, what's that? This.delta, oh, delta, what's that? That might be, they might, I mean, I'm just learning as I go here. I'm sure if, the trouble is looking at the documentation for the Cocos2d-JS system isn't that helpful when you're trying to search for specific things like this. I could just browse the web, but they haven't got a search feature in their API docs. Delta time in seconds, there's that. No, I'm getting sidetracked again. I'll just go for this because I'm repeating code. Every time you see something repeated like this and you go, "Oh, I'm doing the same thing again," it's probably some constant or something I need to put in there. But anyway, so that's the repeat left and right. This is the rotate. So what we want to do here is we only want to do this if rotate delay self.rotate delay milliseconds is greater than or equal to our key delay. And the key is pressed. Okay, I think that'll probably do the job. do I want to look at my notes again? Yeah, okay, we're still doing the same thing. Right. But I do want to set that back to 0 when a rotate has occurred, like I do up here when a key press has occurred. Right. So let's... In fact, I could do that. No. Equal to 0. There it is. Right. So there we go. That's much more controllable now. And I can tap. Let's try my real keyboard. Can I tap rapidly? Oh no, I can't. Ah, that's because now, even though I'm tapping rapidly, it's not resetting it. So I need to do here we are. So I need one of these that's the same for the up key. So if the up key is not pressed, then we set repeat. This one, rotate delay. Now another thing that I've just noticed is that I'm using these key definitions in multiple places. Will I ever want to redefine the keys? Is key up always going to mean rotate? For now it is. I could go and make sure this is a constant somewhere. Where else is it used? In numerous places. So I might want to define constants for these keys so that I can change them in one place and then have all of the other stuff hanging off of that. Oh, hi, Enrico Low4. Enrico Low4. Good to see you. Oh, he came and went quickly. Or he or she, I don't know. Right. I might do that. Let's have a look at keys pressed. It means abstracting keys pressed to not really use keys, but I could do that, couldn't I? I need to map. I'll think about that. I'm going to put this into my where's my file open? Somewhere here I've got a little text file that I remind myself of things. Where is it? In my AquaStax folder? README. Where did I put my little text file? Reference. Probably in there. There we go. Refactor. So ongoing. Fixed block sliding into place. Partially I need to understand. Yeah, I'm gonna look at that, where that magic number comes from in a minute. Figure out the keyboard repeat. Yeah, I'm doing that as we speak. So what I want to do is abstract the keyboard keys so that in the future I can redefine redefine them without changing all the code. So we'll add that in for another day. Right, so I'll leave that as it is for now. So now my rotate is being handled. Yeah, and I was a little concerned that my dropping down seemed to be a bit slower than it should be. Maybe it's not too bad actually, maybe it just seems, but I probably want to add something that allows me to control the drop rate. So the drop is literally just fast drop, isn't it? If keys down are true or false, I mean, for a start, let's simplify that. Since no point testing a boolean for true or false and then setting another thing for true or false in the if statement. We'll do that. Drop the block down quickly if keys pressed. Fast drop. So as soon as the keys release, there's no fast drop involved. That's good. And let's see where fast drop is taken into account. So fast drop is down here. So I'm thinking it's block size for 60. There's another use of 60, which is, I mean, I could at least do frames per second equals 60. And then I could do millis per update if I wanted to. Ooh. And then nothing passed into update. I wonder, somewhere, I'm looking at delta time down here on this search result. I bet somewhere there's a bit of code that handles variable frame rate, because obviously I'm assuming it's fixed. And hopefully that my code's not going to get, hi Cyborg, good to see you. Code's not going to get so complicated that it actually doesn't handle 60 frames a second. A simple block dropping game in JavaScript should be able to do that. Minutes per update. So we'll leave it for now. To do find where I can query the FPS from, right? So got frames per second. Down in here we can reuse it. So that's basically saying the block fast drop rate. No, that's the normal drop rate, isn't it? So the normal drop rate is 1 block a second. So that's what it should be doing. So that dy is the amount of y movement. So I'm not counting a second, but it sounds like well, actually it's 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippis. No, we're actually divide by frames per second, dy. So normal dy is it looks like it's 2 seconds. I mean, that to me looks like it's 2 seconds per block, but it's definitely not doing that. Okay, oop, and that should be 20 times as fast. So in fast drop, dy times 20. I should have figured this out when I first wrote this code. I was probably just being a bit blasé and sticking some things in that felt right. But I want to understand how it works, especially in relation to the keyboard wackiness that I'm experiencing. Yes. So that's quite slow now. I think that's 1 block every 2 seconds. How do I prove that conclusively? dy block size divided by frames per second, which is 60. I mean, we are running. Oh, I know. I've just realised my frame rate is 30 frames a second because I wiped back at the beginning of the project, or the beginning of the stream, stupidly set my project.json to be 30 frames a second. Wow, what do you know? So it did have an effect. It actually set the update rate, so that's more like it. That's 1 frame a second. I thought that fast drop felt a bit slow. So now we're running the little thingy says 60 frames a second, right? And my movement is still consistent. Actually, it's consistent with the right keyboard. Once every 100 milliseconds, so it should take 1 second to move 10 blocks. So by the time it's moved 1 block down, it should have moved 10 blocks along, which seems to be about right. So it kind of hits about there, yeah, which I think there are 14 blocks in the row. So that's nice and consistent. Yeah, definitely 1 second now. So fast dy is 20 times that. Let's make a configuration for that. So millisecond delay for keyboard being held down. Fast. Let's go block drop rate. So what's the rate going to be? I mean, we're blocks per second, aren't we? So let's do block drop rate in block. Tiles? No, cells, that's it. I call them grid cells. In grid cells per second. And actually this is going to be 1, isn't it? aq.config.block drop rate. Do I want to make sure cells per second? Block drop. So I could make it, I'm just going to call it rate. I'm only going to use this in one place, so I think I might make it fairly verbose. Block drops 1. Block drop cells per second. And we actually minus block size times aq.config.block drop cells per second divide by frames per second. So I can now bump this up to 2 if I want to, just to test it's going to work. And now we're getting 2 blocks per second. Excellent. Right. Oh, hi, CS Metro. Good to see you. Cool avatar. Let's see. Oh, CS Metro is coming on again. Or hasn't joined the chat yet. It's difficult to tell. Sometimes people don't appear in my participants chat window, and other times they do. Anyway, well, that's pretty fast now because I'm now multiplying that speed by 20 to get the fast drop. So let's do block drop rate in grid cells per second. I want to define the fast drop. So block drop rate. Let's see, normal block drop rate. I changed my mind. I don't like that. I'm just going to call it normal block drop rate. A bit too verbose for my liking. And then we want fast drop rate. So let's have block drop rate when fast dropping. Config.fast block drop rate. So having fast block drop rate is 20 times that. Let's just have it at 10. I'm going to tune it a little bit, so we'll make it 10 for now. I'm not going to base it off of that and just do times 20. I'm going to actually make fast dy was minus block size times fast drop rate. I've sort of got to be in my bonnet about magic numbers. Let's find the one I'm going to fix in a minute. I'm going to fix this one as well. So you put these random numbers in your code, so that like times 20 there and arbitrarily times 1 or 2 or whatever, and then you totally forget what they mean in the future. I should definitely do something about that as well. And if I've got time at the end, we've almost had the hour, I'll definitely do a bit more hunting to find where the Cocos2d-JS system stores its frames per second number, so I don't have to hard code that there. Anyway, where was I? So we've got normal block drop rate and fast block drop rate. So we're using the negative there because it's dropping down, isn't it? Yeah, that's okay. So now I can drop that down. So that's my whatever my fast drop rate was. 10, so it should be 10 blocks per second. Difficult to actually count that, but I might do. Ooh, it's pretty close. 1 second. Yeah, it feels a bit slow actually. It feels a bit slow. I might just play it for a little bit here, just to see. Yeah, it's definitely too slow. So I'll go back to what I had as 20. If it is the same, if it's fine, it doesn't matter if I haven't actually changed any logic, but at least the code is a little bit more understandable now, so that's better. You know, it does slow down at the end as it lands, but that's as designed. And there's a couple of flashes for my collision detection routines. So they drop. What did I do the other day? Did I fix the sliding? I can't even remember what I did on the previous stream. I think I fixed the bit of code where it slid in between gaps. That's what, right? Let me test that out. So there was a bug early on in the code where when a little block slides between two, slides into a gap, it wasn't shifting in. So I should be able to hold the key down. Yes, so I held the key down there and it jumped into the gap. I should be able to do the same here. If I hold it to the right, it should jump in as soon as it can. Excellent. Yeah, I'd forgotten that I fixed that bug. I wasn't sure. But luckily I did. So actually the logic for this is working pretty well now. Lots of sliding occurring. Whee. Looks like we're going to be able to get onto block breaking very soon. Whoop. A little bit of a slowdown there. I might have to look at that. Why is that slowing down? It should be doing that quickly. Right, I might look at that in a minute. So now the last thing to worry about is where does this magic number 2.5 come from? So this bit of code is working out whether or not the block Y position as it's moving down needs to be aligned exactly with the grid. So aligned pos is a position that's aligned exactly with the grid. So what happens is the units for position rely on, they're not pixels, they're basically a percentage of the grid size, which is 50 by 50. The cell size is 50 by 50. So it's moving down 60 fractions of that per second in the event that it's moving down 1 cell per second, for example. And the actual positioning values are being stored as floating point numbers. And what happens is there's a possibility that as the blocks move from one to a cell to another, you don't actually see the block move because that's less than a pixel. Or you do see it, or in any one frame, it may or may not move, and it depends on the size of the pixels. If I maximize this window, well, that jumps straight. Yeah, so this is full screen. This is now working at 1920 by 1080. There's a possibility that this should jump. You don't actually see it move, and the way to fix that sliding in was to align it properly with the grid. Ooh, how do I unmaximize it? There we go. Right. So that was why it was aligning it. But what it wants to do is align it when it knows that it's going to be within 1 pixel's gap of the exactly aligned position, so that it doesn't appear to move. I think I just played around with a couple of numbers there. If I make this bigger, let's make this 5. I think what we'll see is the alignment, the block sort of jumps as I hold the key down when it's going to shift into position. So this one should shift in to the left, and it's going to jump a bit too early. There it is, yeah, it jumped a bit too early and then settled. So this number actually needs to be 1 pixel, or does it? Where does this? So it's within, so it's absolute, block position minus align position. I think it needs to be less than 2 pixels worth. And a pixel is block size divided by 60. Or an amount of movement per frame is block size divided by 60, or block size times our block dropping rate. Yeah, so what we want is block dropping rate. Do I know what the block dropping rate is? It's not dy. Well, let's just do normal movement first. It's going to end up being, so what do I want? I want what am I going to call it? Aligned pixel, aligned gap, distance, aligned distance. That'll do. Aligned distance, and it's going to be. I'm looking at my notes. aq.config.block size divided by 60, which is our frames per second. Multiplied by 2, because I want 1 pixel either side of the thing. But that block size divided by frames per second should actually be the same as this value here, shouldn't it? It should be this. So it's actually the same as dx. So I'm gonna. So if it's dx is negative, so actually I can do dx times 2, can't I? In fact, I want absolute of dx, so let's just do math.abs dx times by 2. I'm doing the math.abs because I'm doing it down here, because it could be above or below. Doesn't matter what it is, as long as it's within that distance. And this should also allow us to handle the fast dropping, although I don't think it does. It won't fast drop when you're next to another block. Let me try this out. There's my gap. Well, I'm going yet. Ooh, see that one jumped a bit fast, didn't it? Probably because dx was fast dropping at that point. I don't really want it to do that. I want it to be smooth. Let's just hold it in. Yeah, no, that's not the number I want. Math.abs dx. Actually, it's not dx, it's dy, isn't it? Dy. Silly me. I'm thinking moving left and right, and I'm thinking of dx, but actually in this instance it's dy, because it's the movement down that we want to sort of take into account of when shifting left and right. So now if I hold it left, ooh, that was interesting. That went in and then didn't collide. Okay, maybe it's not. See what this does. Well, I didn't go in at all, so that didn't work. So if I want, what's dy at this instance here? Block size, normal block drop rate is definitely 1, isn't it? Yep. Divide by frames per second. Multiply that by 2. I wonder if I want less than or equals to there. So a sip of tea. Maybe the tea will inform me. So if it's less than, I'm just going to try it. Sometimes just fiddling until it works is good. But then I'm trying to convince myself I know what these numbers mean, and then I do something like that. It's late in the day. So that sat in quite nicely. So what about fast dropping? Let's see if I can get it to do quickly. I need to build a larger tower. That one didn't move, unfortunately. I was hoping that would shift into the right because I was holding the key down, but it didn't. No, that's missing. So that's definitely not dropping the block, or not moving the block sideways. Holding it down, that is, and it did that strange glitch again. Why is it doing that? Am I aligning the block correctly? It's definitely aligned equals Y. Let's make sure. Does dy get fiddled with up here? No. I mean, my original thought was, why did I have 2.5? So my original thought was that it's going to be block size divided by 60, because this was the normal block dropping rate. But then you want it multiplied by 2. I suppose, yeah, it shouldn't make any difference. Give this one more try. So that should drop in. No, it didn't move. How annoying. I'm holding the key to the right. I don't suppose it's my I might have fallen foul of my keyboard issue, because where this is sending key up, key down events, then it might be that the button isn't held down, and that's the issue. Let's try that one. Yeah, that jumped in okay. Ooh. Very little fiddly, these Mac keyboards. Holding to the left. No, that missed it, didn't it? So why did that miss it? Could it be that I definitely let go of a key? I'm just thinking, is the dx value, sorry, the dy value might be wrong, but I'm not using that there. So what's that? Block size divided by frames per second times 2. I'm not going to be losing any precision in the maths there. I mean, it's not going to be something stupid like that, is it? Let's just try that. It's quite small numbers. It shouldn't be affected by floating point precision. Nope, still not moving past. So maybe it's not 2. What is that actual number? Let's have a quick look. Debug this. So whereas before 2.5 worked, this number isn't. Maybe it's not quite 2.5 now. Let's see, where are we? We want to go to here. So 1.6. So yeah, I can see why it's not working quite so well now, because my random number that I chose last time as 2.5 isn't the same as the one where I'm working it out as now. So What could it mean? So 1 pixel. Oh, it's not a pixel. It's one. Let's see. Could it be the pixels? No, the 50. Block size is 50. And what I want to do is know that the position of the block is within a certain amount of the exact aligned position. So if we come down here, let's see, we should. Actually, yeah, this just happens arbitrarily. So let's see when it floats down. So yeah, so we can just about see as the breakpoint hits, as the block lands on the line, and then it does it a second time. So it's actually two trigger points there. Yeah, it's definitely being triggered. So why then is it not sliding in sometimes? Let's debug that, shall we? So we're coming in. Oh, the right block. Do I want something where dx is not 0? Yeah. Let's have an additional breakpoint in here. So if dx does not equal 0, is it dx or self.dx? Test to see if the falling block can move sideways. Yeah, that's the collision. That's new block position. We're definitely, yeah. So the whole point of this bit of code here is to align the block when it does slide between two, or does slide into a little gap, to make sure that the collision code actually succeeds. Dx equals, yeah, dx is not 0. Break here. Right. So let's jump into there. So we're sliding to the left. So dx is 0. Why was dx 0 at that point? So could this be the key? Oh, actually, what I'm going to do is just cc.log aligned. There we go. Just going to print something out so I can see to myself that where that point where it should have triggered. Why is it not? Oh, I typed that into I typed that into Chrome, didn't I? That doesn't work, unfortunately. I think there's a way to make that work. It'd be really good actually if it did. Tell Chrome where your local files are, and then the update works, I think. cc.log aligned. I just noticed colon eyeglasses colon in my chat window here. I thought that's an unusual thing to say, but of course in the actual live coding web chat view, there's a smiley face with glasses on. Aligned, yeah. So we're getting it aligned. That's good. Let's oh, there we go. So that triggered. dx was definitely not 0 because I was moving it to the left, and it popped in, which is good. So why isn't it always doing that? Let's reload. Thank you. So I want to see why it doesn't always do that. Could it be because let's get little triangle blocks when you don't want them. It is a random number generator, or honest. More triangle blocks. I don't want those. There we go. There's a square one. Right. So that one didn't trigger, but I can't tell if it was aligned or not because annoyingly, it's looping over all the time. Maybe I can just print out dx. Let's see. Right. So dx should be 50. Yeah, that worked, and that should oh, that slotted in, but it carried on down. Okay, there's another interesting bug. What's going on here then? Yeah, that should have slotted in too. I can't tell if the if my code is working. I'm thinking that this key held down business isn't quite doing what I expect it to be doing in some circumstances. This is very annoying because I thought I'd solve that. I might have to think a bit more about it. Let's just do this with the real keyboard. So as long as I'm holding down a key, dx ought to, at least at that point in the code, be 50. Ooh. No, I'm holding down. Oh, that was me. I think I didn't click on the thing. So why is at this point dx not being 50? Ah. It's because the repeat rate. So this repeat rate now is setting self.d. Yeah, so dx isn't going to attempt to move the block sideways. It's only going to attempt to do it on the repeat rate. That's not what I want. Let's see. No, it's not. Actually, no, the projection self.dx. Oh yeah, self.dx is always going to so that self.dx is the value that the repeat rate gets set to, and that's only going to be set to 1 or -1 every 100 milliseconds as the repeat rate timer that we put in at the beginning of the stream clocks over. So dx isn't even going to bother searching for that. Project the block sideways for a collision test. What can I do to fix that? Let's see. I need to take into account the fact that the key is held down and the block is locked into place, so it can't move. So in that instance, do I want to set the move delay to be key delay milliseconds so that dx comes down and is 1 or -1 until it gets to the point where or do I do something like, I mean, I can just test to see if the block is moving sideways. See, this test is where I set dx to 0. If a collision would occur, don't attempt to move sideways. I could set the key repeat value, the move delay, to key delay milliseconds. Let's try that, see what it does. Ooh, hi Chozilla, good to see you. Let's see, I'm just having some fiddly little bugs to do with keyboard repeat rates and sliding blocks left and right and things like that. Where was I going to put that thing in? Here we are. I was going to put it in here, so don't attempt to move it sideways. Ooh, and live tester as well. I've seen it before, haven't I? How's it going? Let's just do this. I'm going to comment it as well. So clear the move delay so we can slide left or right as necessary. That means that the next time through we should end up triggering okay. So I still, yeah, keep, ooh, actually I don't want that breakpoint at the minute. Tim says it's going really well. Tim is my bot, by the way. It kind of loses the help. There he is. So I was just talking earlier about whether or not I should hook him up to the Amazon Web Services natural language parsing system, so that questions and answers and things could be a bit more natural. He doesn't have much logic in him at the moment. Although you can ask him to change my hat color if you like. Let's have a Cylon green, red, green, blue. There we go. Green Cylon. There it goes. Right, I'm going to test this. So that should now jump sideways pretty quickly. Yeah, it does. But it also moves down as well. I don't like the fact that it does that. So let's just make sure that. So I'm going to make sure that the sideways movement occurs properly. No, that didn't work either. Why did that not? Because it doesn't even get down to this point, does it? Because dx has already been set to 0. Okay. So what time is it? 9:18 almost. It's getting a bit late. I'm going to have to stop soon. Talk to Tim, so polite. Yes. He has only a few key phrases. He does remember if you follow me though, and if you do follow me, he'll greet you with a somewhat more austere greeting next time you come and say hi. Let's see. I'm getting a bit confused now as to what I should be testing for. I think I might call it a night. Let's see. At least I achieved what I wanted to do, which was make sure that my will you follow me if I follow you? Yes, I will. Are you streaming as well? Doing any interesting projects? Definitely mutual following is perfectly acceptable. I can look at your can I? Oh yeah, I can click on your icon on my window here. 14 years experience. Wow, you've been doing this a long time then. Oh, you're making games too. Awesome. And your own chatbot. I should have used yours rather than write my own. There's a bit of sort of writing a chatbot and doing these things is just a bit of playing around to see what you need to do to get one to work, isn't it? Really, it's not that complicated to do. Yeah. Should definitely get the Amazon Web Services thing going, and then you can talk to the chatbot like you can talk to. Oh, I was about to say the name of the Amazon Echo, and I've got one here, but I forgot to turn her off. So if I announced her name, then she'd start talking to me. I usually mute them before I start the stream. In fact, I have a friend whose name is almost exactly the same as the Amazon Echo trigger word, and I have to mute it whenever she calls up. Kind of relaxing project to make a chatbot, yeah. Yeah, you can change to say computer. I thought I'm not too much of a Star Trekkie, so or Star Trek fan, I should say. So computer isn't. It sounds a bit boring. Yeah, I'm getting confused now. I just want to. Is it worth trying to figure this out now? Oh, one more go. Let's get a symbol in the right place so that if I played not Tetris. No, I can't say I have. What's not Tetris? Is it a game that's not like Tetris? I shall Google that as well. Well, there's not Tetris 2 as well. Cool. I can see it giving it the old blocks and things all over the place. Excellent. Oh, there's the follow. Thanks very much. Oh, cheers for following. Much appreciated. I will do the same with you. The hat has gone rainbow, as you see. Let's see. There we go. Done that as well. Are you in the UK? Do you stream UK times, or are you in the US? I'd be interested to come and watch next time you're on. I'm usually available most of the day, at least to sit and watch a few streams if they're interesting. German times, yeah, so very close. Awesome. Did you ever do any mobile games back in the day when it was Nokia and Sony Ericsson and Java? J2ME mobile. That was what I spent the last many years doing. Actually, the last sort of 5 or 6 years I've been doing iOS and Android and JavaScript, but prior to that it was all J2ME. And this is where my AquaStax game comes from originally. It's an old mobile game that I'm now remaking. Doing Trivian for 5 years. That's a framework I've never heard of, or a system. Sounds a bit corporate. Or was it a game that I missed out on? Ah, it's a game. Cool. Is it good? Yeah. Worth looking up? Browser game. Oh, cool. Oh, that's a good page. Some nice artwork. Let's. I think I'm going to call it a day. Yeah, my tea's gone cold now, so it's that's definitely a time to call it a day. I will commit this code as it is because it's kind of working. Let's just see, where does this magic number 2.5 come from? Cool. Lead project. Let's just do. I'm going to put it back to 2. I'm going to comment that out and put it back to 2.5, which it was before. My magic number 2.5. And do I want to? I'm going to take that off because that wasn't what I had before either. Get rid of these logs, don't need those. So that jumped in nicely. So that 2.5 is definitely the right number. But I just got to figure out exactly what it actually is and what it means. And that's probably a job for Thursday afternoon when I'm a bit fresher. These evening streams that I do, I tend to be rather knackered from a long day. Thursday afternoons are much better for me because it's only 3 o'clock. So I stream Thursday afternoons, 3 o'clock UK time. And then hopefully I'll be able to figure out what that number means. And now I'm getting carried away playing the game again. Okay, so this one's going to slide in. Oh no, that one didn't slide in. So I've obviously broken the sliding in, probably due to you definitely have to play not Tetris. Yeah, I shall definitely look at that in a minute. Make myself a fresh cup of tea and watch the not Tetris videos. So I've broken the let's see, fix the block sliding into place. I did this, but broke it again with the key repeat handling. And the date's the 14th. So I'll fix that and have a look at this magic number on my next stream. It's going to be Thursday afternoon, 3 o'clock UK time. Thanks very much for watching, much appreciated. Oh, and hi, whoever that is. I can't pronounce your name. Girl? I don't know. I do like announcing people when they come in, but sometimes people's names are very complicated to pronounce. I'm just going to quit for the day, and come back next Thursday, or this coming Thursday afternoon, 3 o'clock. You need to have your bot speak out the name. Yeah, I've seen a couple of streamers who have bots that obviously hook into speech recognition. I bet there's a way. But if I look at the Amazon speech recognition or natural language parsing, their APIs probably have some kind of text-to-speech system as well. Should give it a go. Anyway, I'll commit this to GitHub now. I'm going to have to stop because I just keep getting carried away testing my game, finding the bugs or not fixing them, and what I want smart git. Just use say $name. Yeah, I'll have to give that a go. Right, refactor, commit. The code and not the keyboard hardware. put hardware in quotes because I'm using a funky keyboard sharing system that breaks it. Keyboard hardware, unfortunately, broken the sliding left and right into small gaps. I won't comment that I need to fix that next time. I just need to comment that I've broken it. Right, commit and push. So there we go. That's it for today. Thank you very much for watching. I much appreciate it. It kind of, with some interesting stuff I did at the beginning of the stream, and then it sort of petered off at the end there as I got frustrated by not being able to figure out my glitch with the blocks not sliding into place. Anyway, this coming week, Thursday, 3 o'clock, I shall definitely figure that out, and look forward to chatting to you guys then. Thanks for the chat as well, Chozilla. It was nice talking to you. I shall watch your stream next time you're on. Now I shall get notified by Live Coding TV and watch this not Tetris video as well. So I think that's enough for me today. I shall jump back to my intro screen and I shall see you around.